It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today. My friends, on today's program, I am going back to music from Deep Purple, and I'm really excited to do this. Throughout the early and middle part of this year, I have gotten to know this band quite a bit by going through their iconic double live album made in Japan. We made it through all four sides, and I really enjoyed getting to know the band a little bit better through that process. I've also recently started working my way through the concerto for group and orchestra by John Lord and Deep Purple, and we've got the first movement done, and I'm really eager to get to the other movements of that piece within the next few weeks and months. But today, we're going to be taking time to go back to Deep Purple's debut album, Shades of Deep Purple from 1968, and we're going to hear their song, Hush. And I'm happy to take a look at this, and I'm happy that you're along for the ride with me. So this band formed in 1968, in the year that this song came out from them, and they became, of course, one of the pioneers of heavy metal and of hard rock music. They are from London, and this song became their first big hit single. It debuted at number 4, or I should say it peaked at number 4 on the charts. And I didn't learn until just recently, I think it was some of y'all who alerted me to this, that the Deep Purple recording of this song is not the very first one. It's not their song. It's a cover song. So the song, as I read in here, was written the previous year by American musician Joe South. That's an American name, isn't it? Joe South. And Billy Joe Royal, an even more American name, who was an American country and soul singer, recorded it and released it in September of 1967. So Richie Blackmore hears the song and thinks it's going to be a good fit for Deep Purple, and Richie said that they worked on doing a different arrangement of this song to adapt it into their own style, and that they recorded the entire song in only 2 takes, y'all. The way they used to do it, right? So, in fact, as I read in here, the entire album from Deep Purple was recorded in only 3 days, y'all. It included 4 original songs and 4 cover songs. And I'm vaguely familiar with Hush. I've heard it with Megan in the car, I'm sure. And I've never, though, given it a hard look or an analysis or a deep dive. So I'm happy to do that today with all of you. So I want to start with Billy Joe Royal's version, and then we'll hear how Deep Purple covered it. Okay, so here is Billy Joe Royal. I couldn't find out who was all... This is backwards. There we go. Didn't feel right. I didn't find online who all played with Billy Joe Royal on this recording, so we'll just say that it's by Billy Joe. And here is the original recording of Hush from 1967. Off we go. Okay. So that sounds familiar. The Na-Nas. So they didn't say, hey, hey, goodbye. She's the best girl I ever had. 4-1. Hush. I thought I heard her calling my name now. Hush, I gotta hear my baby calling. She broke my heart, but I love her just the same now. I thought I heard her calling my name now. I need her loving and I'm not ashamed now. Early in the morning, late in the midnight. I want it and I need it now. Got to have it. It sounds like I remember, but not like I remember. No? And all it took was a touch of her hand. It blew my mind and I'm in so deep that I can't eat, y'all, and I can't sleep. Listen to this again. I thought I heard her calling my name now. Hush, hush. She broke my heart, Love the brassiness with the background singers. It's got a great vibe. Breakdown. That bass.
She broke my heart, but I love her just the same now.
Got everybody. There you go.
Didn't y'all hear her call my name now? I need her loving and I'm not ashamed now. Why in the morning, late in the evening, morning and I need it now. Got to have it.
It's a groovy tune. It's a groovy tune. It's just about wanting to hear from your lady, you know? Really, really cool. I had no idea that that existed until I announced this piece on Sunday, and people said, "Are you going to do the original?" I said, "I thought I was doing the original." And then I looked into it, and there you go, right? Really, really cool. So I want to get to the Deep Purple version of this, y'all. This is the one that I think that I've heard before. As I look at the track listings, this one's a little bit longer. And with this original incarnation of Deep Purple, we are hearing their so-called Mark I lineup, the original lineup. Richie Blackmore is on guitar. Rod Evans is our lead vocalist. Nick Semper is our bassist and backing vocalist. John Lord is on the Hammond organ and on some backing vocals. And Ian Pace is on the drums. So let's hear what's different about this version from Deep Purple. What did they do to this and how did they make it their own? I'm really curious to hear. Let's do it. Here is Hush from Deep Purple. Off we go. Werewolves of London. Different song. That's interesting. Way different key. They're down in C. The other guys are in E flat. Get it.
I got a certain little girl, she's on my mind. No doubt about it, she looks so fine. She's the best girl that I ever had. Sometimes she's gonna make me feel so bad.
It's a sequential pattern. It is chromatic, but they're doing the same stuff.
Thought I heard her calling my name.
Nice.
She broke my heart, but I love her just the same now.
So they moved the key,
Thought I heard her calling my name.
and they've got the organ in there, which is different.
I need her loving and I'm not to blame now. You got her early in the morning. You got her late in the evening.
Cool.
Oh, then need it. Oh, I gotta have it. She got loving like quicksand. Only took one touch of her hand. Blow my mind and I'm
Gotta
in so
figure this
deep
out.
that I can't eat y'all and I can't
So it
sleep.
goes down to A flat, and then E flat, and B flat, and F. Right. They're all fourths. How about that? Is he going to do it again? Nice. Got it. Starts on flat 6.
She broke my heart, but I love her just the same now. Hush, hush. Thought I heard her calling my name now. Hush, hush. I need the loving and I'm not to blame now. You got her early in the morning. You got her late in the evening.
Yeah, they have the dominant 7th over the top of that C. Take it, John. Gotta play along. What a fun tune. They're just taking an extended siesta here to let John solo a little bit. Woo. This is revealing a little bit of the extended soloing and improving that they like to do that we heard so much on Made in Japan, right? Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, that goes. Descending fourths in that sequential pattern. We'll talk about it. Now slow down. Cool idea. And that's how they end it. They just take the riff and do it halftime and bam, and then they're done. Well, friends, wasn't that fun? The arrangements were more similar, I think, than they were different. And that was surprising to me. I expected a little more change in what Deep Purple was doing versus what Billy Joe was doing. But the one thing that they did that was quite different was the key itself. Billy Joe was in Hush in E flat, and Deep Purple was in C. Right? So let's take a look at what they're doing. The main idea is just a Mixolydian progression. Hush, hush. Then it goes to the 4, then the flat 7, then major 1. Major 4, flat 7 to 1. Right? That works pretty well. And then the thing that they were doing with all of those chords for the nanas, those are chromatic chords. They're not in C major. We're in a key that's got all white notes in it, but the first chord that they go to uses that C as a common tone, and it goes to flat 6 to A flat, I think. A flat to E flat, yadam, ba-di-dum dum, bum bum ba-da-dum-dum-dum. I'll move up here. Goes ba-dee-dum, bum, ba-dum. Oh, B flat. I had to remember what key I was in. So what that does, from that C, we're going to take that C that's in the C major chord, we're going to keep the C, and we're going to make it not the root of the chord, the third. And we're going to go to A flat, a common tone chord. This A flat chord is from C's parallel minor key. It's from C minor. So once we get the A flat is a fourth above E flat's a fourth above B flat's a fourth above F, and F's a fourth above C to get you all the way back home. You start on flat 6, and then flat 3, and then flat 7, and then 4, and then 1. It's an extension of that Mixolydian thing, right? You start on 1, you go up a fourth, you go up another fourth, you go up another fourth, you go up another fourth, and that's where that A flat is. A flat, E flat, B flat, F, C. Really a great construction, and those descending fourths make it like a series of plagal resolutions from one chord into the next. And so even though it's chromatic, it sounds quite common practice and diatonic, and it works really well, especially because it follows that pattern. Really cool, right? I'm glad that we listened to this, y'all. I think that's the first time I've heard from the Mark I lineup of Deep Purple here on the channel. And as I looked in on my read-in today, I have found that this particular song has been covered a lot of times. since its debut, and several of the covers were relatively, I can talk, y'all. Several were relatively contemporary. The original came out in 1967, and several came out in 1968, 69, like right after that. And to me, it's a bit wild to think that there were so many recording musicians that would record their own version of a song that was so close in time to the original on the charts. But that's what apparently was happening back then. I don't recognize that happening as much in more current times, at least not as overtly. But it was really cool to see all of these different covers. And for Deep Purple, like I said, this was their very first single, and it did really well for them. And it climbed into the top 10, and it ended up being their only top 10 hit until they had Smoke on the Water rise to that level in 1973. So really, really fantastic and fun to look into this classic, lovely little tune, y'all. It just tells us to hush because I thought I heard her calling my name. I got to hear it when my lady is calling for me because I have priorities. That's what they're talking about. This has been fun, friends. Hush from Deep Purple and the original version from Billy Joe Royal. Thanks for being with me, friends. That's all for today. We'll see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.